Alright, here we go. What's up, Seth and Kristen? Seth or Kristen? Seth and Kristen? I love it that you guys share that same MO with your Facebook as we do. Cedric, Mr. Make It Great, awesome to see you on here, bro. I'm going to get this shared out, so give me just a minute. I know I'm looking down and not at the camera. I'm multitasking. Not as good at this part of it as J.Dok. Tracy, great to see you on here. There's my amazing wife. Awesome, babe. Will you get this shared out for me? I just shared it into the Hope Brokers group, but if you could share it onto the Hope Brokers live page, that would be great, because I'm broadcasting tonight from We Are Hope Brokers with Vaseo. And let's see if this thing would stop popping up. Patty B, what's up? Gretel, see you tomorrow. Yep, on your way to the airport. That's the party plane right there with Tracy and Bobby, I think, and Simon, and a whole bunch of people on that flight. What's up, Keith Sampson? Mike Reno. Mike, it's been crazy today, man. I saw your message. I'm not sure to answer your question. We'll find out on Friday. Debbie Young, great to see you on here. Yes, Gretel, we cannot wait either. Randy Wood, what's up, brother? You drive safe, man. 650 miles in that weather is no joke. Keith, on your way to Orlando. Are you guys driving too, Keith? Man, you guys, all of you out there that are already in kind of the middle and the left part of the country, I'm sorry, the right part of the country, be safe. I know the weather's crazy. John, great to see you on here. Carissa, welcome. Debbie Young, what's up? Canada in the house. Alan Gallagher, great to see you as well. Keith, yes, you're driving. Well, please drive safe, my friend. I know that all y'all out there are used to that inclement weather, and we Californians are not necessarily, but nonetheless, be safe. I've been seeing some of the chaos on the roadways out there, and 700 miles for you, Keith. We'll make them a safe 700, man. I know you're used to it. You spend a lot of time on the road, but again, be safe. Simon Jacoby! Bro, it's crazy that we both live in Southern California, and I haven't seen you in a long time, so I cannot wait to see you tomorrow. Patricia, Happy New Year. Trinity, great to see you. Let's see, how are we doing on time? Got another couple of minutes, I think, and we will get the locker room call kicked off. I'm kind of fired up. You get to be filling in on the locker room tonight. Gonna be fun. Bobby Barajas, what's going on, brother? There's my sister, Elaine. Can't wait to give you a big old crazy hug tomorrow. Elaine Corliss, can't wait to see you. Mike Bell, can't wait for some hugs, high fives, and handshakes with all of these amazing Hope Brokers. Currently over New Orleans on a plane. Okay, sweet. I didn't see who that was. Who's on a plane over New Orleans? Haha, Seth. Nice. That's awesome. Elaine's getting packed. I can't see that far, you guys. It's not that far, but I've got my phone. We've got an extra device for the broadcasting. So, DTS, what's up, brother? Can't wait to see you tomorrow. How far am I? Yeah, I know, dude. Don't rub it in. I need LASIK or something, and I'm not gonna wear my spectacles that really reflect my age when I do this. So anyway, good fun, good fun, good fun. Yep, can't wait to see everybody tomorrow. It is going to be a phenomenal, phenomenal, phenomenal action-packed couple of days. There's Andy Barkenhagen. What's up, brother? I hope we're going to see you guys, Andy, in the next day or so. All right, well, you know what? I guess I kind of actually don't need this since that is working and J.Dok is doing the sharing, and it's probably about the top of the hour. So give me 1 second to pull up some notes, and we're going to get this rolling. I'm excited to get to be filling in tonight on the locker room. Fired up, fired up, fired up. Okay. Let's see. All right, I'm just looking for one thing. Well, I don't even need it. I'll paraphrase it. All right, guys and gals, so let's get this locker room call kicked off. I really love the fact that some of you are tuning in while you're en route. That's really cool. Again, if you're driving, please keep your eyes on the road and listen. I will do my best to maybe speak a little less rapidly than I typically do. Greg Adelman, great to see you. Myra Beard, welcome, great to see you. Alan Delaney, my brother, what's up? Patty, great to see you. Man, love all of these people tuning in, and I think most of you are going to be in Orlando, and that just gets me freaking stoked. It's like a family reunion or something, man. It is just going to be such a great time. Who's fired up? Who's ready for the Dream Conference? Who's ready to make dreams come true in 2018? Let's see some emojis rocking the comments here. Put your favorite emoji in the comments if you're ready to make 2018 for real, for real, for real. Literally like a legacy year for your family. You know, I've been having some conversations with some of you over these last few days, and we're sharing our, excitement, our mutual excitement as we've been on the phone with some of you for 2018. And I genuinely believe this, guys and gals. I genuinely believe that 2018 can be and will be for many of us collectively in this Paseo Hope Brokers family a year that future generations of our family look back and they're telling the story of their great-grandma and grandpa, or their great-great-grandma and grandpa, or maybe their mom and dad, or maybe their grandparents, or maybe their uncle or their aunt or whatever, but they're going to tell a story of what a family member of theirs did in 2018 that literally reshaped the complexion of that family. This is going to be a legacy year, guys and gals. I mean, there will be family fortunes, inheritances, just donations that are immeasurable, monuments. Some of you guys will make donations to your alma maters, for example. It'll put a placard with your name on it. A lot of you are going to put, wells up that are going to have your family's name on it through Hearts and Hands for Humanity, folks. This is going to be a big year if you're ready to seize what you have literally in the palm of your hands. All I need, and my goal tonight is to get all of you ready to just do this. And we're going to talk about what that means. It is here. It's right here, right now. And so we're going to talk about how do we take hold? How do we seize this moment? Because I genuinely don't feel like moments like this come around very often, folks. I've been an entrepreneur since I was a kid. It probably had a little something to do with the environment I grew up in. I can't wait for Gary Vaynerchuk's upcoming book, and I don't know exactly when it's going to be released, but one of the guys I like to follow, who's just an incredible business icon, he's not for everybody, man. He's really rough around the edges. He's an East Coaster. He's a New Yorker. He's very brash, but I like how to the point he is. But anyway, he talks about this concept that he's been able to have phenomenal results as an entrepreneur because he says he was perfectly parented. I kind of feel like maybe I was perfectly parented, My mom always had me believing that I could do whatever it was I set my mind to, and I hope all of you guys recognize, regardless of what age you are right now, that holds true for all of us. That's why you frequently hear me say, you don't have to allow your current circumstances to dictate your future, man. That is the honest to God's truth. I don't care what your track record, your past, your history, and how many birthdays are on the meter for you. All of that can be irrelevant when a timing like what we have right now at the start of 2018 falls into our laps. And that's exactly what it is, guys and gals. We have a timing that I just don't think is likely to occur again. I felt like that last year, and I would have never guessed it could get better. But it has gotten better, guys and gals. And so like I said, I've kind of had this entrepreneurial spirit from the time I was a kid. Because I think I was perfectly parented, and I want all of you to know exactly what my mom taught me. You can do whatever you put your heart and mind to. Somebody put that in the comments. I want you to say it in the first person for you, for each of you. I want you to put in the comments, I can do whatever I put my heart and mind to. Folks, that is an absolute fact. I've always been in pursuit of a life without limits. Maybe because I grew up in an environment where I saw my mom doing that. I was basically raised by a single mom, and then I had an amazing stepdad, or still have an amazing stepdad, but he came into the picture, and again, they always kind of facilitated this belief that my only limitation was what I could dream and what I was willing to go hustle and do the work for. And that led me into entrepreneurship at a crazy young age. I mean, I'll share a few of them with you. Fun stories. We lived in a new apartment complex development when I was, I don't know, maybe 11, 12, 13 years old, somewhere in there. I don't remember. And they had, we moved in right as it was built. And so they had cored the curbs for drainage. And so those concrete pieces that come out of the curbs when you core the curbs, right, they're about this high and they're perfectly round. And so I'm roaming around through the apartment complex and I'm finding these things everywhere. And again, I don't know, I wasn't even a teenager yet. I was like 11 or 12 years old and I'm thinking, man, these would make really cool paperweights. And so I would paint them and I would put like World's Greatest Mom or I Love You Dad, and I'd sell them to the other kids in the neighborhood. And so anyway, the entrepreneurial bug started for me really young. I used to have a blast with my cousin. I'd spend the summers at his house, and we would go through the neighborhood, and we would wash cars to earn money so we could go do fun things in the summer. And we had one bicycle between us, and so we would get the bucket and the hose on the handlebars. He would ride the bike, I'd sit on the handlebars. This is probably dating me a little bit, but some of you guys probably remember doing it. Hey, if you hang out with Dr. Tony and Seth and those guys, some of you probably still do it. But anyway, we would ride through the neighborhood, I'm sitting on the handlebars of the bike, and we would roll through the neighborhood until we saw a car in the driveway. And then, if the car was in the driveway, we would park and we would go and feel the car to see if it was warm, because that means they're probably like home because they just got back home, right? So fill over the hood, right? And the car's still warm. And if it was, the next step is we would, Jolene probably hasn't heard some of this detail either, it's fun. We would literally screw the hose in and we would fill the bucket up with soapy water, and then my cousin, who was like a year and a half older, so I guess that's why he got to be the one that was further from the door, right? Like he got the priority, the senior priority. I would get to be the guy who goes and knocks on the door. And when they would answer the door, as I'm saying, "Good morning, ma'am or sir, would you like your car washed today?" my cousin's starting to spray the car and get it all wet. And so they kind of had no choice but to tell these two crazy kids yes. And there's my lesson in entrepreneurship, right? You just got to go do what it takes. And I'm going to talk about that a little bit tonight. But folks, you know what? Chasing your dreams can be fun. And hopefully being in this Hope Broker community and knowing that you're part of the Viseo community at an early stage and that you're partnered up with people like Dallin Larson and Daniel Piku and Dan Zhu and Mark Ewell and Rob Alwyn. I mean, I could just go on and on and on, folks, but we are in rare air. We're in the midst of and keeping company with, just some of the most high quality, high caliber human beings that anybody would ever be blessed to do life with. And so that can make this journey really, really fun. It doesn't mean that it's not going to require hustle. It doesn't mean it's not going to require getting out of your comfort zone, taking some chances, making some leaps of faith, stretching yourself a little bit. But I want you guys to understand that I don't think there's ever been a better time. And so ever since those early days, I've been pursuing this dream of entrepreneurship and financial freedom and time freedom. And that led me all the way through college. I had my own business that helped me pay my way through college. I got a degree in business with an emphasis in marketing, of all things. And I had some great training from some of my early employers until I figured out that me and the word employee were not cohesive. It didn't work. We tried it for a couple years, and I guess too much of this crazy free spirit. But again, I feel like I've had a lot of perspective in business, and I've had a lot of miles and years under my belt now in entrepreneurship, and I've never seen a timing like this, folks. We've gotten a year now with Viseo under our belts. We've gotten a foundational product lineup with liposome and advanced delivery technology that is phenomenal and will continue to be leveraged and built on. And now we've got some new products coming to the table that can move the needle in a really big way, folks. We've been talking a little bit about the walking billboard effect, and that's something I don't want any of you to underestimate. Listen, here's what will become a reality for most of us, most of you, most of everybody who sees this video that's in Viseo. And if you're not, you need to take a good hard look right now, because we're putting the bat to hit home runs into everybody's hand. Folks, when you can get your prospects, and when your people can have their prospects being the ones that are chasing you down, chasing your products down, they're the ones starting the conversations, that is an entirely different ballgame than what is typically the case in any business, quite frankly, and even in the first year with Viseo. Think about this. We're going to help people radically, dynamically, and in a super healthy way transform their physical appearance for the better in very, very short periods of time, folks. The results from the combination of V-Slim, Core Complete, V3, sleep to help people get a better night's sleep, the Renew to help control that inflammation. When you take this collection of products that we've got with Viseo for folks that are desiring and could benefit their health by losing some pounds and inches, we're going to help them get it done like never before, and we're going to help them get it done in a healthier way and in a faster way than most of the world has ever seen before. And so you're going to turn the world around you into these walking billboards where they're not even going to need to initiate these prospecting conversations, because when they show up to work looking different, when they show up to church looking different, when they show up to their kids' events looking different, the people around them are going to say, "You look amazing. What are you doing?" And what I know is this: you're going to have people that are not even brand partners. They're just customers in your business, and they're going to drive your business forward. They're going to create more new customers in your business because they will also be walking billboards whether they intend to do the business or not. So that being said, here's what I want you guys to know. Alan Delaney, you're going to love this because you catch on to these pretty frequently. To quote one of my favorite philosophers from the hip-hop world named Dr. Dre, you got to get your mind right if you're going to get your grind right, folks. For those of you that have ever listened to hip-hop music, again, and the great philosopher Dr. Dre, if you're going to get your grind right, you got to get your mind right. That's what the locker room's all about, folks. Listen, there's nothing different between a diamond and a brand partner except for a couple of things. One of them is that the work has been done. Another one is that the mindset is there, that we know we need to be our own biggest fan. Folks, we believe in you because we know we're no different than you. Rob Owen believes in you because he knows he's no different than you. Dallin Larson believes in you because he knows that he's no different than you. The imperative thing is that you need to believe in you. The journey to massive results, massive freedom, and massive impact is going to require you to be your biggest fan. You need to become your source of belief. Now, we have this amazing community, obviously, in Viseo. We have this amazing community within the Viseo family called Hope Brokers. We have amazing friendships and bonds that we're building, and a lot of you, Jolene and I, consider you family, really. Like Jesus said, right, when he was inside with some of the disciples, and literally like his mom and brother were outside, and they said, "Hey, Jesus, your family's outside," and he goes, "What do you mean? Like who is my family?" Right? Folks, a lot of you are like family to us, but at the end of the day, until you believe in you at a level we believe in you, that's going to be your breakthrough, okay? And that's why it's so powerful to be in Orlando. And if for some reason you're watching this and you're just not able to get to Orlando for whatever reason, here's what I would implore of you. I would almost, I'm not going to say beg of you, but I really want, I want to strongly urge you as best as I can to consider one thing. You set some time aside over these next 3 days and you work on you right here. You work on getting your mind right so you can get your grind right. Even if you're not going to be with us in Orlando, I want you to apply yourself to raising the bar on where you see yourself. I want you to spend some time writing out some positive affirmations about yourself in the first person. You make them personal. I want you to think about your why and some of the things on your dream board, and I want you to write them out as though they've already happened, folks. This concept of shaping your mindset will be the number one thing that serves you in a more powerful way than probably anything else that we could ever teach you. That's the single great, besides like the brotherhood and the fact that he's become one of my very best friends in the whole world that I've ever had. The greatest gift I've received from Rob Alwyn is watching his ability to visioneer for himself. He's an amazing dreamcaster for all of us because he became exceptional at it for himself. Because you have to lead yourself before you can lead other people in this business. You have to be able to, if you can't impact you, your ability to impact others will be limited, okay? And so that's frequently the theme in the locker room, is we're, like Rob often says, we're trying to coach you up so that you know you can do it, okay? And so that being said, here's what I want you guys to know. I wrote down some notes, and I want you, somebody type this in, and we're going to fill in a bunch of the things that come after the colon. But there's never been a better time to. Type that in. There's never been a better time to, and then colon. There's never been a better time to, colon. Folks, there's never been a better time to be all in. What I just got done describing to you, what we've got our hands on, this moment of time where Vaseo has worked out the kinks, they've smoothed over some of the infrastructure things, they've added to the support in the corporate leadership, they've expanded the corporate offices, they've enhanced the back office and the database, they're bringing products to Orlando that are going to move the needle big time. So there's never been a better time to, yes, DTS, there's never been a better time to become a diamond. But the first one, Seth got it. There's never been a better time to be all in. Folks, you need to decide what that looks like for you. That can be a little different for each and every one of us. But whatever that looks like for you, and again, I would encourage you, wherever you think that limit is, stretch yourself. Stretch yourself. If you want to get different results than what you've been getting, you're going to have to do some things differently than what you've been doing. Okay, so you're going to have to be willing to explore the boundaries of your comfort zone and find out if you're really there or not, and see if you can stretch those or not. But there's never been a better time to be all in. Maybe for some of you that looks like simply taking it from your 30 minutes a day to an hour a day where you work on Vaseo. Maybe for some of you that looks like going from your 2, 2, and 2s, and for this next 90 days, you're going to turn it into the 4, 4, and 4s, right? But there's never been a better time to be all in. Folks, timing is key. It's why it's always part of the 5 pillars. It's why it's part of us defining a 5-star opportunity. And like we frequently refer back to, timing comes in spurts. This is a marathon. Building a life of your dreams, living a life by design is a marathon, but it's composed of a series of sprints. The next 90 days is a season of sprinting, okay? So there's never been a better time to be all in. There's never been a better time to make the necessary sacrifice. 10x, Myra, I love that. There's never been a better time to make the necessary sacrifice. Folks, you think about high-level athletes, right? We're coming up on the national championship game for college football. And you know where the culmination of the national championship game started for these teams? It wasn't getting into the 2 playoff games. It wasn't having like one of the best winning records of the season. Folks, it started before the season even started. For a lot of these athletes that we'll get to see on TV next weekend, or the end of next week, or beginning of next week, whatever day the national championship, you can see where my priorities are right now. They're certainly not on the national championship game, praise the Lord. But you get my point. Folks, for many of them, it started when they were young kids. And if we look at this season as a series of sprints, it started like before the school year even started for them, right? The football season kicks off with what they call Hell Week, where they're doing 2-a-day practices, and they're in the weight room once or twice a day, and they're grinding. They're grinding, because if you want results you've never gotten, you've got to do some things you've never done. Okay, so that's the next one. So there's never been a better time to. Seth is so on it, or Kristen, one of you, I love you guys. You're on it. Make the necessary sacrifice. That's absolutely right. The next one. There's never been a better time to have a really big list. Folks, whatever you think your list is right now, and I pray that you have a written list. I think if you tuned into the Facebook Live we did with Bobby Barajas yesterday, you heard us talk about this. J.Dok and I have a list that's growing every day because we've been doing the things we're teaching. I think J.Dok said we added 8 to the list today, so we were at 138 yesterday. These are actual conversations. These are people waiting for samples. These are people where we've already engaged in a dialogue. 146. That's not the list of people we're going to wait and contact. That's how many new prospects we have, folks. We saw this coming. We will always hold ourselves accountable. Anything we teach, we better be doing. And all of you always have the right to call us out if you think it ain't happening. We'll show you the 146 names. There's never been a better time to have a big list, a bigger list than you thought possible. And so stretch yourself. This is the time for a big list. Folks, most people's New Year's resolutions include losing some pounds and inches. If you're not sure if that's something that's important to someone on your list, but you can see that it is, don't ask them if they want to lose weight. Like Rob said, I think in the last locker room call, ask them if they know anyone that wants to lose weight. If you already know that losing some pounds and inches are important to them, well then you can just address that with them head on. But the bottom line is, folks, we've got something that a lot of people are desperately desiring already. And so who are you going to leave off that list? Like, if you have the ability to bless people, why do you want to leave somebody off? If they're in your cell phone, are you going to make the choice to potentially be a blessing blocker? Somebody type in no blessing. No, better yet, somebody please type in I will not be a blessing blocker. That simply means that you're deciding for somebody instead of reaching out to them. If they're in the contacts in your cell phone, by golly, I pray they are on your list. I don't care if in the past they've been a no thank you, or even a heck no. You know what? The potential of where you will go in this business will have a lot to do with your ability to develop a thick skin. Sticks and stones may break your bones, but we're not going to let names hurt you as hope brokers. We're not going to let names hurt you. We love you. We know that you're bigger than somebody telling you no, okay? So even if they've been a heck no in your past, get them back on your list. Let's reach out to them again, folks. There's never been a better time to have a bigger list, okay? How about this one? There's never been a better time to have a really big why. This is one of my favorite ones. It's funny how, Dallin has talked for the entire time we've known him about his passion for helping move people from success to significance. And when I combine that with, the way Rob frequently references, people say money's not everything, or he says people say that money doesn't buy happiness, and he says, well, neither does poverty. What's your point? Folks, here's what I want you to know when I talk about there's never been a better time for a really big why. I know that if you're tuning into this right now, you have a passion in you to want to impact the lives of other people. Otherwise, you probably wouldn't fit into this environment. And so, for those of you that are tuning into this, I know I can speak directly to you with confidence. I can understand a little bit about how you're wired because we're similar in that way. I want your why to be so much bigger than what seems reasonable. I want you to be aiming to be ridiculously wealthy so you can give ridiculously more than the average person, folks. It is fascinating, the concept of moving from success to significance. When you can see a why and a vision for your life that is so much bigger than any of the things you would want to do, the carrot that's leading you will get big enough that your impact will far supersede the material things that the world likes to associate the word abundance with. I want all of you to arrive at a place where there's so much abundance that has come as a result of your faithfulness, your prayers, your diligence, your unrelenting serving of other people, that the impact that results from that is way beyond what somebody would label you doing just for you and your family, folks. there's nothing wrong with wanting to win big for our own families, but I want us as hope brokers to be aiming to win way bigger than a level of resources that our family could ever even imagine how to utilize those resources, because now we're impacting the world. Now we're building multiple wells every year in Africa through Hearts and Hands for Humanity with each of our families' names on them. Not one well. I'm talking 10 wells a year. Right? Now we're doing things in our communities. Now we're starting nonprofits. Now we're funding. Now we're literally going to move the needle on the quality of life around the world, because we were willing to strive for a why that was so big that it wasn't about our family. It wasn't about, again, the things that the world totally misunderstands when they think of the word abundance. So folks, there's never been a better time for a really big why. I want your why to be outrageous, because there's never been a better time to bring some of that to fruition. All right, 2 more. There's never been a better time to be lockstep. Folks, there's something unique that happens when you get so in alignment with the people that you know are going to pave the way, that are going to forge the trail. This is the time to have an accountability partner or an encouragement partner. This is the time to make sure that you're moving on upline and you are so in sync that, again, we're talking lockstep, right? So think of it like this. J.Dok and I are looking to sprint to Black Diamond. So we know that basically means go diamond all over again with about 4 or 5 of you by our side. And the end result is that we helped a bunch of people go diamond, and we have no choice but to end up at Black Diamond. And by the end of the year, we're aiming for Royal Black Diamond. We do that by finding people who want to run the pace that we know we need to run to create the impact that we want to create, folks. This is the time to get lockstep. So for those of you that want to do that, we want to hear from you. We want you to understand, what did it take to add 146 new prospects to our list of conversations that have already been had in the last 4.5 weeks. We want you interacting with us regularly, every day. We want to be on the same page with you. There's never been a better time to be lockstep. We would never, ever, ever have been able to go diamond in Dallin's previous company as distributors number 1.2 million on the inside of an inside leg, where we did not have timing on our side. The reason we went diamond is first and foremost by the grace of God, and that included being surrounded by people like Josh Miller, Kenny Kuhnhofer, Mike McCleary, and it included the ability to be lockstep with Rob Alwyn, and it included the willingness to be a faithful apprentice so that he could actually be an effective mentor. Man, that's good. Somebody write that down. Man, I love it when the Lord downloads. That was from the Lord right there. Type this in. I will be a faithful apprentice so that my mentor can be an effective mentor. Man, that's so good, folks. That's the definition of lockstep right there. Folks, Rob Alwyn's impact in the lives of the Doktorczyks would have been limited if we weren't willing to be lockstep. A mentor can only do so much, right? As the old saying goes, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. I will be a faithful apprentice so my mentor can be an effective mentor. That's all we want, folks, as mentors, is to know we're having real impact in your lives. Okay, last but not least, and we'll wrap up with this. There's never been a better time to reprioritize. J.Dok referenced this last night. Folks, again, this is a marathon composed in a series of sprints. Here's what I was going to look up in my notes, and I don't need to because I've heard this a million times, and I love that Dallin frequently refers to this. Dallin sent a message out a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, just reminding us what he has frequently taught other people. If you can get yourself to become willing to do what others are unwilling to do for the next 12 months, you will get to live a life that others are unable to live for the next 12 years. Folks, there's never been a better time to reprioritize. Listen, the laundry will still be there if you decide to make more time for follow-up calls. Okay, the dishes aren't going anywhere and the world's not going to end if you decide to make more time to serve your team. Okay, the dirt on the car is not going to prevent it from driving. If you decide that for a 90-day run, the car wash is going to have to come second. Okay, the grass getting a little long is going to still be able to be cut if you decide that this 90 days you're going to lay the foundation because you're going to take massive action so that you can go diamond. Folks, there's never been a better time to reprioritize. As the saying goes, you show me your calendar and your checkbook and I will tell you what your priorities are. You show me whether it's the past, the present, or the future. You show me, for example, your game plan and your budget, and I'll tell you where you're going to end up. You show me your calendar and your checkbook for last month, and I'll tell you what your priorities were last month. If you show me your calendar and your checkbook for the last 2 years, I'll tell you where your priorities were, right? I mean, it's not rocket science, but folks, there's never been a better time to reprioritize. Again, extraordinary outcomes don't come without an extraordinary level of commitment and sacrifice. This business is probably the most accessible platform that any of us will ever find to create extraordinary outcomes. But it doesn't mean that it is a free ride. It doesn't mean that it is a meal ticket. It doesn't mean that it is a lottery ticket and that just because we signed up, we are entitled to the results. It means that we still have to hustle. The done is in the doing, as Jolene always says, right? I love the phrase like this. Will you develop skills over time in this business? Yes. Am I the same R.Dok today as I was when I first decided to lock arms with Rob Alwyn and Dallin Larson and again, some of the other amazing Hope Broker leaders? No. You know, my first presentation roughly 10 years ago with one of the other buddies that had joined my team at that time, and we did our first home meeting, and as we got in the car and started driving away, he goes, "Bro, I love you, but that was terrible. You should let me do it next time." Folks, the skill is going to come from the doing, okay? The thing you need more than anything is the doing. Here's the great thing about being teamed up with Viseo. The tools will bridge that gap. The tools are the ace card, right, in your deck. The tools are the trump card in your deck. When you have a system like we have with Viseo, and you have tools like we have with Viseo, and you have a support community with leadership, with people like Mark Ewell, a almost $40 million career earner, which, by the way, I think for a lot of you, you may have not probably had the chance to start to get to know Mark Ewell and his wife Jill, and I just saw Mark chime in here. Mark, can't wait to see you guys tomorrow. Folks, I want to share this as a little side note. The minds and the track records that have gone into shaping what Viseo is are second to none. One of those people is Mark Ewell. Mark has had one of the most impactful careers in network marketing that exists in the world in this industry. There's not many people that have impacted the quantity of lives at the level that the Ewells have, and therefore the income is just a measuring stick of impact. Okay, so we often use the income reference to help communicate impact. You don't make money in this business without impact. So being nearly $40 million career earners, we didn't get to know the Ewells at all in Dallin's former community. We've been incredibly blessed to get to start to become friends with Mark and Jill Ewell. Folks, I want you guys to go and reach out to them if you're going to be in Orlando. You need to get to know Mark, and we're going to get Mark featured in more of the things that Hope Brokers are doing, because he's Rob Alwyn's personal sponsor, folks, and he is one of the most servant-hearted people you would ever get to know. And so, Mark, get ready. We're going to start to get a little bit selfish with some of your time, my friend. The Hope Broker community needs to get to know you even more. Folks, tune into whatever Mark is doing. There's such a wealth and wisdom of knowledge that we can all learn from. And again, the character, the integrity, and the heart. But what I was getting at was that when you've got people like Mark Ewell, like Dallin Larson, like the Rob Alwyns, like the Corbin and Holly Roushes, that have shaped the field that we're playing on, the skill will follow the doing. And so what you need to resolve more than anything right now, whether you're going to be in Orlando or not, is that you're going to be ready to go do at massive action 10x levels. Because even with the skill, ain't going to get any of us anywhere without massive action. You want to know why Mark is a black diamond and really like knocking on the door of Royal already? Because even though he's got all that track record and skill, he's been taking massive action without coming up for air for the last probably 17 months, right? Since October of 2016. So whatever that math is, 12 plus 3, sorry, 15 months. You don't have to be good at math to do this business. For the last 15 months, Mark has been taking massive action. That's why he is a black diamond knocking on the door of Royal, folks. So you have what it takes. You have what you need. So 2 things to wrap this up, and then we're done. If you're not going to be in Orlando, probably stay tuned to Facebook, because I imagine some people will probably be broadcasting whatever we're able to. But you make the commitment right now, because it's not going to make you travel. If you're not able to get to Orlando, you at least work on you over this weekend. You at least spend some extra time, like we talked about, visiting your dream board, writing out your goals, defining your why, making some commitments. Work on you this weekend and get yourself ready to be on the playing field when we all get back from Orlando. For those of you that are going to be in Orlando, I want you to, this is my last piece of advice to you. We've never missed a function. Well, I've missed one function my entire 10 years of being fully devoted to this industry as a professional, and that was only because I promised my daughter that I would never, ever, ever miss one of her gymnastics meets, and there happened to be one event that fell on the same weekend when one of our daughters was competing. And so I wasn't going to break that promise, and I didn't. Otherwise, I've never missed an event. Here's what I've learned. These events, while they're fun and while they're exciting, these events are there to feed you, but you've got to go in hungry, guys and gals. I want you to walk into the Dream Conference laser focused that you're going to grow. Laser focused that you're going to feed yourself. Laser focused and positively expecting that you're going to get nuggets. I want you walked in there. Yes, it's going to be fun, but I want you going in there with your eyes on the prize, which is your why, your dream, the impact that you're going to make for your family in 2018. We're going to have a lot of fun. We're going to have hugs, high fives, handshakes, a whole bunch of laughs. But I want you to also be there with your game face on, folks. I know that the Viseo family is super fun to be around, and so I'm not saying like this level of seriousness where we're not being social and interacting and enjoying each other, but when you're in the seats and there's someone on stage sewing into you, folks, 0 distractions. Everybody type that in right now. 0 distractions for me at the Dream Conference. Please type that in. I want all of you to type that in. 0 distractions for me at the Dream Conference, folks, because to the level to which you expect to receive is the level to which you will receive, okay? And so go in there and love it up, have a good time, be a big time giver of hugs and high fives and handshakes and encouragement. But when it's go time, I want it to be go time for all of you. When we're in our seats, as a community, as a family, as a bunch of winners, guess what we're doing? We're laser focused on that stage. We're laser focused on the message. We are taking notes. We are soaking it in, and we are looking for those nuggets that will allow us to grow so that we can come back better leaders, better servants, and better dream builders for the rest of 2018. Guys and gals, love you. Fired up. Cannot wait to see all of you in, roughly a little bit more than 24 hours. Everybody, please travel safe. Lord's blessings over all of you. We will be praying for all of you to have safe travels. We will be praying for all of you to have wide open hearts, wide open ears, wide open minds, that the Lord will fill them up, answer prayers, and get all of us ready for a game-changing 2018. All right, guys and gals, thanks for letting me speak into your lives on the locker room. Can't wait to see you in 24 hours. Love you guys. God bless.